Alright everyone, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. So as we wait for this random light to just turn green for us when there's no other cars in the other lanes. There you go, finally. It's been like 30 seconds. We're going to Doghouse Garage. So gonna hang out with the boys from Doghouse. They're gonna bring a lot of clean cars. So this is a grand opening of their shop. So number one, congratulations. Thank you for opening up your doors. Every single event that I've been to that they host, whether it's a track day or Cars and Coffee, or at the Acura dealership, more like a month and a half, 2 months ago. It's been wonderful. So Hung, Daniel, everybody from Doghouse that I'm not even aware that they're part of Doghouse, they always do an amazing job. And so we're gonna go show some love and some support. Like I said, it's gonna be cool to see their new shop. When I went to shoot Hung's car, he told me all these ideas that he had for the space, and he's been showing a little bit of that progress. And so I'm excited to see kind of now how it came to fruition. And then they're gonna be displaying some cars inside as well, so that's gonna be pretty cool. But it's local to Orange County, so it's another like a prideful thing, that shop is here in Orange County where we're from. So man, kudos to you guys from Doghouse Garage. Let's go see some clean cars. Yeah, well, the Popular boys came through. Okay, 3 red coupes. I see you guys. I see the theme here. I feel left out. Chingon. Alright, if I get a ticket, let's blame it on Randy, because he's the one that gave me this idea to park like this. As you guys know, I like to come in early and then leave early. So hopefully we don't have an issue. But then that way this ensures that nobody parks in front of me. And I can go home early. I'm just like that. Alrighty guys, so we made it to Doghouse. Big shout out to Doghouse Garage. I want to check out the inside of the shop first before we go and do the walk around outside. I just want to see the setup since they're going to be parking some cars inside. Always a pleasure to see these cars here. As you can imagine, there's just so many clean cars. Man, the space. Wow. Way to go, guys. Morning. Way to go. I remember when it first came in here, they didn't look nothing like this. So, wow. So they'll be showcasing a couple Hondas here. Man. Look at this. Gosh. Extremely clean. What's up, brother? That thing is pushing over 1,000 or 1,000, close to 1,000. The EG. You would never know it. That's the beautiful thing about this. You would never know it. Wow. So, well, a whole bunch of little bikes. Look at this. Thing's so cool. Such a clean car. But yeah. Get the beefy tire set up. Wow, thing's mint. So definitely, as you guys can tell, the display is gonna be insane. I love the color scheme that they went with, just very simple black and white. Man. Every time I see cars like this, like it makes me want to like, oh man, maybe I should put more detail into my cars. But I just know myself. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't have that in me. I drive them, they get scuffed. Not to say that these people don't drive their cars, but they're just so much more meticulous. Look at this, like perfect interior. I would spill coffee. I know myself. This is cool. I like it though. Very nice. Very cool. And Doghouse, y'all killing it. Now that hatch up there, it's not stock. I won't say anything because I don't want Hung being like, I showed you, I didn't show anybody else. But it's not stock. Here's Daniel's E46 M3. Such a nice car. Such a nice car. So Definitely cool. It's gorgeous hatch up there. On M7s, rebarreled M7s. Oof. Yep. Oh yeah. He pops his hood, everybody goes to the engine bay. Yeah, this is dope. So, very subtle for a car. It's amazing. Look at this. You'll never expect this, right? From a car that can close the hood, no problem. It's not loud for what it is. It's quiet, I would say. It's just amazing. So cool. This is so cool. Alrighty guys, so sorry, I don't know what I was yelling. Alright, so let me start the coverage from all the way over here. It definitely will be a part 2 video, just because there's so many cars. So many clean cars too, you know, but there's just so many cars in general. So it'll give me a lot of time to just kind of mumble about everything that I have in mind. And I do have a topic that I have in mind that I think it revolves around confidence, because I need to learn how to grow more confidence on my photography skills. So if you're new to the channel and this is the first video you've ever seen, I tend to mumble while showing cars that I like, mostly old school Hondas. So I'll skip most of the new Hondas, so my apologies. I will also be skipping the Preludes. So Doghouse, man, first and foremost, thank you so much for just hosting. Hung and everybody else that is associated with Doghouse always has a banger of an event, and that's the reason why people show up, because they know that they're gonna get quality, they're gonna get good people, no weird stuff, no over revving. I mean, all these dudes most of the time, they're more track oriented, and so they know when to you know, go fast, which is at the track, and when to be respectful, which is at the event. So it's always fun to see them. This is one of my favorite S2000s. I've seen pictures of it on the track, and it just looks so killer. And just seeing it here in person also, you know, gives me those vibes. It's just so aggressive, man. Very cool. So the topic that I wanted to discuss, like I mentioned, is confidence, just because so some of you guys may know that there's a Toyo Tire shutter speed event going on, where actual photographers take pictures of whatever the theme is, and this year's theme is I love the 90s. Now when I first saw the flyer, I thought it was just 90s Hondas, because they had a few Hondas back there, but then my brother was like, no, it's anything 90s, so that means anything Japanese 90s. Well, I'm still sticking with my just pure 90s Hondas. That's kind of the theme that I wanted to go to. So kind of going based on the whole confidence thing. Number one, I think I'm definitely out of my league. These dudes are talented, you know, especially people like my buddy Marvin, Cool Collective, you know, Carros and Pigs, like all these dudes who actually know what they're doing. Number two, they're creative. Some may say, well, Gus, you might be creative. Maybe not, because I don't think I am. But at the same time, there's another thing, that's another noticeable thing that you cannot lie or dismiss or try to cheat, which is just the photography skills. And I'll kind of walk through some of the things that I have, you know, I guess going against me. Number one, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to settings and cameras, but you know, fair point would be like, well, neither were any of the other photographers that you know mentioned. It's a skill that you have to practice. Okay, fair point. I do have I do believe I have the quality equipment. I mean, obviously not compared to some other people. It's just a 6400. But it goes back to that, where a baker will bake regardless of the kitchen. So it's the same thing. Not excuses, it's just, I guess, reasons why I feel that I would be at a disadvantage, or I wouldn't, not disadvantage, no, it's not a disadvantage, it's why I wouldn't be able to perform as well as other people. But once again, I'm sure some of these photographers you can give them a Kodak, what's it called, camera, and they would do amazing. Again, it goes back to the creativity, and that's kind of the piece that I need to work on. And then number 3, coming up with the theme of just what is 90s, where can I take a picture that represents the 90s, things like that. Get out of this gentleman's way, excuse me. So in that, I reached out to a few people, you know, and they were very supportive. They're like, yeah, let's do it, let's, you know. I reached out to only 90s cars, purely Hondas, and then my thought was, let's do a gas station picture with just 90s cars. Well, I went last night. I was like at 11 midnight, just taking pictures of different gas stations, just kind of trying to do the legwork, imagining how it would look if I do decide to go with that idea. And it didn't yell, didn't scream, this is what represents 90s. I feel like it's just gonna be, so I need to reach out to everybody and be like, I don't know, man, I think I'm gonna, again, it goes back to that confidence piece of, you know, maybe, oh, this is sick, maybe talking myself out of the idea already. But the reality is, I was picturing something different in my head, and just based on the picture that I took, I'm like, I don't know if this is the route that I want to take it. So I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of brainstorming if there was anything 90s related. My wife was like, what if you were to like find a 90s store, which almost don't exist anymore, like a Blockbuster. We don't have those anymore. That would scream 90s. But I don't know. I think the gas station picture would look cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's within the theme. And previous years, I've seen how these photographers, they really go deep into the theme itself, and they're able to show their creativity. That is super clean. They're able to show their creativity through the theme itself, and they do little subtle things. You know, I reached out to my buddy Marvin. I'm like, hey, what do you think about doing for this? And he told me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And with his skills, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be pretty cool. I know I can reach out to other mix and models, but you know, Hondas to me would be my, I'm not I guess questioning or debating that part. I know for sure I wanted to be Hondas, just because that's just my jam, I guess. I'm not a big Supra or Skyline kind of person, so that's just me. So it would have to be Hondas, Acura, right? The other, I guess, confidence piece of it is, it's hard to, and this is nothing that anybody has said or made me feel any type of way, you know. It's just me understanding that, you know, they're helping me out of there because they want to. Nah, I'm forcing them. I'm not forcing. I don't know. It's like, I guess I feel like I'm a bother to them. There you go. That's a better way of putting it. Which they're not. If they can't do it, they would say, hey, yeah, man, I can't do it. As much as I want to help you, I can't. But it's still hard in the back of my head to kind of wrap my head around that, you know, they're willing to make that time for me. And so I don't know, maybe that goes back to the confidence piece of, hey, you know, people want to help you out, and accept the help and don't question it. Very nice cars. And things slam. Little baby in the back's knocked out. Oh, this is gangster. Oh, that's a nice car. Look at that car, so beautiful. Hopefully we make it and we meet up with him to interview him on that one. It's a beautiful car. So yeah, definitely that piece of like, I'm being a bother to them, or man, I don't want them driving their cars under my watch and something happens. That's a legit fear of mine. So all these different things. That's why I chose, like, you know, I only reached out to people that were nearby. I'm thinking with decrease, I know people drive their cars everywhere and any, you know, but I'm like, well, that's for them. That's not on my watch. And so yeah, a lot of thoughts, as you guys can just imagine. I'm just like, okay, well, this, that, and now the more I think about it is, you know, it's the gas station picture itself. It's not 90s theme. Therefore, I need to revisit that idea of, like, what is it? How can I really, I guess, showcase the ask of the contest? Now, some of you may say, dude, you're overthinking it. Just take a picture. You're not even gonna make it to the finalist. Maybe. And I'm fully aware of that. I'm not like very, you know, I'm not holding my breath to make it to this final thing, because again, I've seen the pictures in the finalists, and man, they're just so talented and creative. But I want to put out a product out there that I'm proud of myself, you know. I want to say, yes, there was some thought into this. It wasn't just a gas station picture. And I think that's where I'm at, where I'm just like, well, I need to revisit the idea of, like, where to shoot, what cars to shoot, how to shoot it. And, you know, homie from San Diego, Boom Boom Tisk. Hey, yo. No Honda? Honda. Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. Honda Accord. Yeah. Wagon. Damn. Sick. So that's kind of it's kind of my train of thought. There you go. Train thought. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm overthinking it? Do you think, I know my skills have, my photography skills have improved. Mostly the camera has done the work. But just to have a picture that I think, I don't know. Like I said, I may be overthinking it. I may have something in my mind that I'm like, maybe this would be better, but at the moment it's just not, it's not flowing right, and it's just a matter of just being patient and being okay with whatever ends up, you know, whatever we end up creating, and that's what we submit. But I definitely want to give it a try. The contest is not over till about a month from now. I'm sure they're gonna get thousands and thousands of pictures, so just to even get mine in I think would be an accomplishment, just to say, hey, you know, I, regardless of any fears or doubts or things like that I have in my mind, I still decided to go in and you know, put my name out there. They said that half the battle showing up, so I think that's kind of what I'm trying to push myself. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if probably by the time this video goes live, I don't know if you guys have any ideas in the comment section. I would love to hear them. I'm more than open to listening to suggestions. What would 90s, the theme is 90s, what throws off 90s? You know, again, maybe I'm not even understanding the whole goal or the contest ask to begin with, but I don't think it was planned, but a whole bunch of sedans. Well, they planned it, but not the first guy. The first guy came from San Diego. Big shout out to the guy from San Diego. But everybody, man, EF sedans, dude, for the win. And those wheels, Jesus, such clean cars. Like I mentioned, it definitely will be a two-part series, just because this SD car had 20 minutes remaining, so I know for a fact that for 20 minutes I will be mumbling. Buddy from San Diego, he's dealing with some, you know, tuning issues, since it has carbs. I didn't know that. He's trying to find someone that's gonna help him. I think he already found someone that's gonna help him with the tuning of the car, but meanwhile it's just that has to drive around a little rich. But at the end of the day, I'm so glad he made it out. And hopefully he can get that situated right away, so that way there's no issues moving forward. Silver and blue looks so good. Oh, evil. Damn. And the cars just keep on coming and coming, so that's pretty cool. Very, very nice to see the community come out and show support for a grand opening of a shop. Obviously, we walked through the shop earlier. You guys can tell that the shop is amazing. It's super clean, and it's always fun. Homies came through all together. 3 red Civic Coupes. I can only imagine how cool they look when they were on the freeway. That's dope. It's dope to see all of you guys, man. Just kicking it. Putting it down for the 5th gens, putting it down for the red ones, and it's just cool, man. It's just cool to see that. You guys are all good people, and always exciting to see you guys. I legitimately mean that. You guys are fun. You guys are fun. So, like 3 great examples of what, you know, self-building and cleanliness looks like. My apologies, I had to cut the camera because I was getting some rollers in. But yeah, man, I mean, super cool clean cars, especially these red coupes. Big shout out to you guys, man. And buying parts, selling parts. This is one of my favorite colors in the Integra series, man. Just love this color. I feel like it's just so nice. And so many wheels go with the black wheels, black Riga Masters on this, like this Mugans. White Mugans look so good on that as well. So So one of the things that we're experiencing, this is the first time that it's beautiful M3s. One of the first things that this is the first event that they hosted here. One of the things that Hung is doing a great job on trying to, you know, be a good host, and at the same time making sure that he keeps it cool with his neighbors, because clearly he's still going to be here after the event's done. So he doesn't want to make his neighbors upset with the amount of cars that are coming in and blocking the entrances. So like right now he's like, hey, who drives an FK8? I'm like, well, half of the people here on Riga Masters, okay? Same half people, no. And so obviously the gentleman had to go in and move it, and that shows, you know, he's being responsible, he's being understanding of the neighbors' needs, and also understanding that, like, hey, like I don't want to have issues with my neighbors. I want to make sure that we build that, you know, communication piece, so that way, not if but when I choose to host another meet, there's no problems moving forward. And I think getting those contacts ahead of time also helps to be able to. Are you pointing at me? You kept pointing at something. I'm like, I don't know who he's pointing at. All right. How bad is this show? How bad is this show? Just tune into Ian's coverage. Looking forward to that, man. It's an amazing YouTube channel. He one of my most favorite videos that he's produced has been his Japan trip. So big shout out to you, my guy. But yeah, I think Hung is doing a great job on balancing that, right? Saying, hey, I get it. Like we just, you know, it's random. A whole bunch of cars showed up, and if you're not into cars, then for you, everyone here is a takeover person or whatever the case may be, you know. And so if it's our business and I'm like, hey, I need to get into my business and there's cars here, it can become a little bit disruptive. So big shout out to Hung. Definitely I see him, you know, going back and forth, kind of talking to his neighbors to ensure that there's no issues moving forward. So do apologize if I don't get those cars just because of the speaker, but I see more cars coming in, and I want to get some more roll-ins, because it's just, you guys know that I love seeing the cars roll in.